The classroom is so quiet.
Surprising for the summer.
Got a bunch of administrators in the room. Okay, I think we are good. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad you're here with us in the air conditioning. We're going to call tonight's special meeting of the Norwalk Board of Education to order. It's 5:38. We will start with our pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Special thanks to our young scholars for leading us in tonight's pledge. And again, welcome to everyone to tonight's I just want to do a quick roll call. Present tonight in person, we have Sherry McCready-Brown, Erin Palma, Diana Carpio, myself, Colin Hostin, and Godfrey Azima. Joining remotely, we have Mary Ellen Flaherty-Ludwig and Karen Nelson-Bakey as board members. Joined with our superintendent, Dr. Estrella, and members of our senior team. And tonight we have some really exciting business to go through, which is to approve, hopefully, the appointment of some really wonderful, inspiring new administrators here in Norwalk Public Schools. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 business items. I'm going to suggest or invite us to move these appointments together, and then we can hear from each of our appointees as part of a brief introduction. But first, actually, because hot off the press, we have a new potential assistant principal at Road Middle School who did not make it to the agenda tonight. We would need a motion to amend the agenda to add appointment of Jonathan Lake as assistant principal of instruction at Road Middle School. Would someone please make that motion? Thank you, Godfrey. Seconded by Erica. All in favor of adding the appointment of Jonathan Lake to Road Middle School to tonight's agenda, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Okay, so we actually have 9 appointments on the agenda tonight, and do you want to move that together?
If you want to move that together,
So we actually have one under superintendent appointments. We have the appointment of a really exciting position, the Education Administrator of Pathways and Innovation. And so that would bring our appointments to 10. And again, I'd like to suggest that we move them together. So moved by Godfrey Azima, seconded by Sherry Brown. All in favor? Well, the motion is on the floor, and so what I'd like to do now is invite each of our appointees to come up and say hi.
So can we start with Dr. Black? He's been proposed for the principalship of P-Tech High School.
Good evening, board members. Dr. Estrella, my fellow past colleagues and about to be current and future. Good evening, everyone. My name is Victor Black. I have had the wonderful experience of being a teacher, assistant principal, district leader here in Norwalk prior to my departure. Those experiences have led to some great successes in regard to student achievement and the like that I look to bring back home here in Norwalk at P-Tech High School. Technology is my background, it is my passion, and I look forward to enhancing opportunities for students through that thematic lens. So I appreciate being here. Thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to working collaboratively with the board, our superintendent, and my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Black.
I would like to call up Ms. Yesenia Paredes Diaz, proposed principal for Silvermine Dual Language Magnet.
Good evening, everybody, all board members, superintendent, and everyone on the floor. It is my pleasure to be here and to have been selected to become the principal of Silvermine Dual Language School. I'm looking forward to elevating the dual language program at Norwalk and continuing to build little minds that will lead our world one day. So I'm super excited to be here and looking forward to building community with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to get the work started. Thank you.
The next person I'd like to introduce is Dr. Alicia Reinhardt as the proposed principal of South Norwalk Elementary School.
Good evening, Dr. Estrella and all of my colleagues in the audience, as well as the board. My name is Alicia Reinhardt, and I am extremely excited and honored to join this team, this educational force in the city of Norwalk. It is my privilege to have been an educator for more than 2 decades. I have served in the capacity of a classroom teacher as well as an administrator for a school and a district leader. And I'm excited to bring all of my experience and all of my learnings from the communities that I've served and the children that have crossed my path and grown my practice to the city of Norwalk. I look forward to collaborating with all of you and continuing my learning and supporting the growth and development and success, the future readiness of the students in the city of Norwalk. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person that I would like to introduce is Ms. Kay Wilson Torres as a proposed assistant principal of Cranberry Elementary School.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. I'm joining you all virtual tonight. I would like to introduce myself as Kayshana Torres. I'm thankful for this opportunity to serve as assistant principal of Cranberry Elementary School to help serve the administration team, the students, the parents, and the community. I'm excited for this new journey and new chapter in my life, and I cannot wait to collaborate with you all.
Thank you. The next person I'd like to introduce is Mr. Randall Austin as the proposed assistant principal of Kendall Elementary School.
Hello, board, Dr. Estrella, everyone else in the room. I first want to say that I'm so privileged and honored to be here. I started Norwalk as a 19-year-old paraprofessional at Kendall. I was a class act para who's not guaranteed a job. And then I went on to become a teacher, and then a project-based learning teacher. During this time, I just, thinking about me standing here, I think about the children and the message that we're sending. So students who I've worked with my first year are now ninth graders in Norwalk. And so for them to see that I have the teacher in the room who would help them, I'm now the principal of that same school. It's just the message I think that we should share, especially for students who look like me. So I appreciate you all, I thank you, and I look forward to the work ahead.
The next person that I'd like to introduce is Shirley Aether, sorry, the proposed assistant principal for Brian McMahon High School. Aether, I'll get it right.
Good evening, board, attendees, and Dr. Estrella. My name is Shirley Ithier, close enough. And I'm very excited to be here in consideration for the role of assistant principal for Brian McMahon High School. When I met Principal Wood and her selection committee, I immediately knew that this was a new home. They are singularly focused on students and their needs first. And I would like to add to that with my guidance background and all of the experience I have as an assistant principal over 16 years. So thank you.
Thank you. I would like to now introduce Ms. Renee Torres as the proposed assistant principal of Norwalk High School.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Estrella, and everyone, colleagues. My name is Renee Torres, and I have been a world language educator for the past 16 years in Westport Public Schools and Reading, as well as team leader working with different types of communities and just community members. I also have been a resident of Norwalk, and I'm just super excited to start off my administrative career in Norwalk. I believe in the school, I believe in its mission and vision, and I can't wait to get started and be part of this community through the long run. Thank you so much for the consideration for having me here. This means a lot to me and to someone like me, so thank you very much.
Dr. McBride, would you like to come forward to speak about Nicole Dua, the new director of communications? He's here?
He's here. Yeah, he's online.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nick Dua. I am in consideration of the Director of Marketing and Communication. I am absolutely thrilled to be here. After really chatting with Dr. McBride and Dr. Estrella, the potential there is really limitless, and how we can actually have a creative approach and analytics-centered communication within the organization I think is just so appealing to me at this stage, and I really thank you for everyone's time and consideration.
We are also going to propose the approval of Jonathan Lakes as the proposed assistant principal for instruction for Rowton Middle School. I don't think he's with us this evening, but he has been an active member of our community. He served in the role of CI administrative instructional leader at Rowton for some time. That role was eliminated, and he was selected as the assistant principal for instruction, the proposed assistant principal for instruction. So we are excited to include him as part of this proposal. We also are proposing the education administrator of Pathways and Innovation. As the board knows, we've been really focused on creating a K-14 continuum of learning for our scholars and really building the infrastructure that is in place, and really enhancing our international baccalaureate programs, our medical profession fields, as well as a marine science and several other pathways, including STEM. In order to do that effectively, we need someone that can really work collaboratively with all of the cabinet members and other teams within central office in our schools to really enhance that work, particularly also the arts. We are known not only within our state, but across the country for having a really strong arts program, and I think it's really important to have someone that can bridge and merge all of that work together. Having someone like Mr. Reginald Roberts as the proposed candidate engaging in this work allows us to have someone with expertise, not only within these different disciplines and fields, but also someone who has been an administrator in the district, who is respected in his work in the arts and creating programs. As you know, PTEC started in Norwalk High School, and he was the founding principal that led that work. So he understands what it takes to develop and create pathways. So we're really excited to propose him as the candidate for this work. It is his birthday, so he was unable to be here with us, but he has a little video that he would like to share with all of us this evening.
with Norwalk High as Norwalk High implements IB and the Arts Academy.
I think you will.
This represents
You
the
have
best
to
of
go
both
back.
worlds, continuing to work with and support Norwalk High while also working with other schools. I thank you for ways. Hello everyone, today is my birthday and unfortunately I'm unable to attend tonight's Board of Education meeting. I'm pleased to announce that I've accepted the position of Education Administrator for Pathways and Innovations. This is a central office position and I will work with all the schools implementing programs such as IB, music, art, and theater. This is an exciting opportunity for me, and many of you know I've played several instruments and I've written and produced many plays. I'm looking forward to working with all the schools as well as the community at large to enhance the arts, but also to assist with the implementation of innovative programs, including IB, which several schools will soon be implementing, including Norwalk High. I will continue to work with Norwalk High as Norwalk High implements IB and the Arts Academy in the new building. This represents the best of both worlds, continuing to work with and support Norwalk High while also working with other schools. I thank you for your confidence in me and for the opportunity to share my expertise and passions with all of our district students.
That concludes the presentation of appointed candidates.
Let's go through this first. Still trying to wonder why Reginald didn't want to spend his birthday with us.
We had dinner plans and it wasn't with us.
Well, thank you to each of our candidates for that wonderful introduction and letting us get to know you a little bit. Of course, it's not a done deal until we make our votes, and now we're going to face the firing squad, and this will be a final interview. We have about a dozen questions. No, but I do want to open up the floor to my colleagues on the board in person and remotely to respond or react to any and all of our proposed appointments tonight.
I, for one, am ecstatic to see this new cohort and class of leaders that reflects completely our community. The encouragement it gives me, I can imagine the impact it will have on our students. I'm excited to serve along and observe your success and to engage you in our meeting our commitment to furthering our students. I sincerely welcome you all.
Colin, I'll just say that I am excited that all of these folks will be joining us. I enjoyed hearing what all of you said, and I looked around at the folks that you're going to be working with, and they all looked very excited about the fact that you're going to be here, and I think that says a lot. Thank you.
You know, this took a lot of many months of planning, interviews and everything. I just wanted to thank everybody, all the candidates that came up, you know, and decided to come and work with Norwalk or come back to Norwalk or stay in Norwalk. I mean, that means a lot to us here. Also, I wanted to say I joke with Dr. Estrella a lot because I tell her she's constantly playing Tetris. You need the right fit. And just seeing and reading your backgrounds and meeting most of you, I too am looking forward to working with you, seeing all the great things that you will be doing here in Norwalk with our children. And thank you.
Thank you. Marielle, I see your hand.
Hi. I like that idea of a really great fit. I was very impressed with the bios that I read. And Nick Dua, I'm curious to see what you're going to do with our website. Get your hands on that, make it more accessible. And I want to, hats off or a little to Mr. Roberts. I had a chance to see him in action at the Norwalk High School graduation, and his drama there, if he can guide us with his knowledge, but also his sense of the arts. I'm thrilled to hear about that appointment and that promotion for him. And welcome all of you who sound like you're eager to be here. That's half the battle. You want to be here, you want to work. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. Kara?
Yeah, hi, everybody. I just want to echo everything that all the other board members have already said. I was so excited when I saw this agenda and read through your bios, and now getting to kind of meet you and hear from you personally. You know, at a time when there's not a lot of good news these days, I feel like this is really good news. It's good news for Norwalk. It's good news for our kids. I'm thrilled to have you all in the roles that you're in. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you to all my colleagues. I do want to say, I hope that this was published for the public.
Yes, it's on the.
I hope that everybody gets a chance to look through these full resumes. They are really, really impressive. I had the real pleasure of stopping by a couple times this week as our principals and assistant principals and administrators are doing their annual retreat and really engaging in some deep work around communication, around collaboration, around leadership. And it's for me, it's as Godfrey said, it's really inspiring to see when we serve on this board. Part of what makes that easy and really worth it is because we serve amazing educators like yourselves and administrators. So I'm so pleased to see this group of highly qualified individuals joining our administrative team. You know, it's part of the strategy is to build that leadership in every building and have that influence our teachers and other educators and staff and ultimately trickle right down to our students. So you know, we rely a lot on your expertise and your leadership, and we are entirely grateful to you for doing so. So if there's no other questions or discussion, let's call it for a vote. We have a motion to move these 10 appointments together, which has been seconded. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. And it's unanimous. Welcome to Norwalk. Welcome back. How the work begins. Okay, great. I think moving on to some more interesting news. We have an update from our superintendent, including news about possible NASA title changes.
Thank you. So in terms of the NASA title change, it has to do with the Education Administrator of Pathways and Innovation. Originally, when we engaged in our strategic plan, we had spoken about having someone in the role of the arts, but we thought it would be essential to expand it beyond the arts and include all pathways across the organization and some of the innovative work that we were doing. So in consultation with NASA, we agreed to shift the title from the Assistant Education Administrator of the Arts to Education Administrator of Pathways and Innovation to really encompass all of the work that's happening across the district as well as the arts. So that's one element that I'm hoping the board can move forward for approval. There's two items that I want to discuss that are not items that I need the board to approve, but more of informational items. I want to talk about Tracy Magnet School. I had the opportunity this morning to speak to the educators in the school as well as the president of the SGC because of Dr. Moore will be taking the principalship at Norwalk High School since Mr. Roberts will transition to the new role of Education Administrator of Pathways and Innovation. It was important for us to have leadership at Tracy that allowed consistency at the school. And Ms. Lindsay Esposito, who's currently the Assistant Principal for Instruction, will be serving in the interim acting role at Tracy until a leader is identified, or if the community feels that she's the right fit, then they can make that recommendation to us for approval. I would like to invite Ms. Esposito up to just share a few words and about her leadership and what she's hoping to do at Tracy Elementary School in her new role.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Estrella, and colleagues. I am extremely honored and grateful to be given this opportunity to lead Tracy Magnet School at this time. As you know, the Tracy community has faced many challenges and changes over the past several years, and I look forward to being a familiar, consistent force at Tracy. I have a true passion for teaching, learning, and the continued progress of every child that walks through the doors. With the collaboration of families, the community, the staff, our aim is for students to be future ready and to leave a positive print on the world. And I'm so excited to engage in this work with all of you. Thank you again for this amazing opportunity.
And just to, for the record, I know Dr. Allen had been working at Tracy Magnet School, and the parent community and teaching community really were looking forward to potentially having her lead the school. We did propose this, but Dr. Allen has decided to engage in other journeys that will be announced at a later time. But we made an effort to provide that accommodation to the community, and I think it's important to point that out. Sherry Duque, I'm going to ask her to come forward. As Ms. Esposito is transitioning to the principalship, I think that it's important for her to have an assistant principal for instruction for support. Ms. Duque is a member of the Narragansett, currently a member of the Narragansett community, and I'll allow her to share a few words to introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone. I'm extremely excited for this opportunity to join the Tracy family at this time. I've been serving in Norwalk Public Schools for the last 19 years. I served in many different roles as a classroom teacher of multiple grades in the elementary level. I was an instructional coach, and currently I am a literacy coach at Narragansett Elementary School. And I'm very excited to join in the work to support Tracy School at this time, and to engage with the families, the students, and the staff there to bring them forward. So thank you for this opportunity.
So Tracy, we're looking forward to the work that will happen there. They are going to have two very strong, not only leaders, but pedagogues that will really help our educators move forward. The other announcement that I want to make that I kind of hinted to is the fact that Dr. Lynn Moore will become the principal of Norwalk High School as a result of Reginald's transition into the new role. I would like Dr. Moore to come forward and share a few words. Before she does, I just want to provide some special thank yous to some of the individuals that have been supporting some of our schools. Joe Fernandez, who has been supporting PTech through this transition. He is an assistant principal at Norwalk High School and is serving in the acting role at PTech until the new leader is identified. And he will work with Dr. Black in transitioning the work to him within the next few weeks. I also want to thank Shannon Roman for leading Silvermine Elementary while we're engaging in the transition, and she will work with Jasenia in that transition process so that we can have a smooth transition within these schools. Without further ado, I'll turn it over to Dr. Moore.
Good evening, Board of Ed and my colleagues, community members. As you know, I've been working with Reginald for 4 years at Norwalk High School. I'm really honored to be able to assume the principalship. There are a lot of challenges before us at Norwalk High. As you know, the major one is that building project, and that's going to be extremely exciting. By the way, I hired Victor Black to be my computer teacher back in the day. And now here we are as basically co-principals, P-Tech and Norwalk High, and we really look forward to putting things in place where the two schools are really one school in terms of our expectations and the way we work together. So I thank you again.
Well, thank you, Dr. Estrella, and I want to extend thanks on behalf of the board to Lindsay Esposito, Sherry Duque, of course, Dr. Moore, and everyone who has been supporting us as we have, as Dinah said, found the right fit in this sometimes it feels like a game of Tetris. So thank you for stepping up, and good luck. I think we do have to take one vote. Now that we have approved the appointment of an education administrator of pathways and innovation, we have to approve that title. So I'd like to invite a motion to approve the NASA title change to education administrator of pathways and innovation. Thank you, Godfrey. Seconded by Erica. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. And that's unanimous, so thank you all. And again, our thanks and gratitude on behalf of the entire board and the communities that we represent to all our teachers and educators for stepping up. We always say it takes a village. We could not do it without you, so thank you. Next on the agenda, we have discussion and possible action with our legal counsel regarding some pending claims and litigation for which it is advised that we go into executive session if we have a motion to do so. Erica, seconded by Godfrey. Reverse it. All in favor of moving into executive session for this next part of the meeting, please say aye or raise your hand. Okay, it's unanimous. Mary Ellen, Karen, you might, if you want to stay on, we'll come back. We're going to do this in person. Okay, we will officially move into executive session. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, this should be.
Okay, welcome back to the special meeting of the Board of Education. We are officially out of executive session and have one final item on our agenda tonight, and that's a motion to adjourn.
So,
Diana, seconded by Erica, all in favor? That's unanimous. I think Karen and Mary Ellen may be having dinner. Good for that. We are adjourned. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time tonight. See you next time.
see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy summer.